This is Brian from Barge Games, and we're going to get barbaric. In fact, we're going to get barbarian 5 different ways. Uh, this is a submission for Get Barbaric, this awesome game design challenge from Tales from Elsewhere, Node and Ski Gaming. This is a lot of fun, but you're about to discover that I'm not a YouTuber, and I don't really intend to be. I am, however, a high school game development teacher, so lucky for me, I did have to teach during the pandemic, so I got to do a little bit of this stuff. So I'm going to really fight back the PTSD to get us through this. We're going to be using my system Barge, which is a game engine that I'm building games on right now. It's a dice pool based system that uses your standard RPG dice set, so 4, 8, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20. The main goal is to be a lot faster, more reactive, more collaborative at the table. Really trying to eliminate that time when you're standing around waiting for your turn. These dice you roll at the beginning of your turn, and your character, everything they do comes out of them. Attacking, defending, using spells, using skills, using feats. Almost all of them are going to use your dice pool in some way. Uh, Initiative is also a resource in Barge. It's something you spend, and certain feats, spells, skills, weapons can attack outside of them. You can imagine something being faster than normal. So what is a barbarian? Your typical archetypal barbarian is your, big muscly guy. Usually got some big old weapons. Screams a little bit, but not always. But there's a very certain kind of cast when you think about a barbarian. I'd propose, though, we can go a little outside of that. There's non-traditional barbarians. I would say Red from Angry Birds. Really, all the Angry Birds. They're by definition pretty angry. You have characters like the Bride from Kill Bill. There's plenty of examples of some that really lets that rage carry them. And to me, that's really what makes a barbarian, is that rage. That rage deep down in your heart, in your soul. And in Barge, this takes the form of the Rage feat, which says pretty simply, as long as you or anyone in your party that you can see doesn't have their maximum hit points, you keep all the dice you would have lost to losing hit points. In Barge, if you take damage, you lose some of those dice. It's meant to be a big deal. When making a melee weapon attack, you can re-roll any of the dice being used before assigning damage and initiative, and you must use the new values. So if you use a lesser die, you might get something bigger out of it. And finally, when you roll initiative at the start of a round, your roll is 20. There's a very good chance you're going to go first. Rage is one of the most popular feats. It's one of the ones I get the most good feedback for. And we started experimenting with not just letting warriors take it. Barge uses kind of archetypes, and different archetypes have access to different feats. We're kind of experimenting with Rage becoming a general feat, and that's really where this came from. The first one we're going to talk about is your classic fantasy barbarian, the Berserker. Hit stuff with big weapons. In Barge, because it can trigger off your buddies, it kind of gives you some mama bear energy. You're going to pick the warrior archetype. You're going to get a cool background, something about living in the wilds. Really, the important thing is get you a big old weapon. I'm a sucker for a great club, but whatever big weapon you feel like, take the rage feat and go smack things around while flexing. Classic barbarian stuff. Second one is really one of the most fun things that came out of our experiments with using rage and other archetypes. We made a rage monk. I call it the underdog. He ain't getting killed. He's getting mad. And he never heard no bell. You can do this with a warrior or a rogue. I think you can fit either. If you do it with a warrior, you tend to do less big hits. If you do it with a rogue, rogues can manipulate the action economy is kind of built into the class, or the archetype rather. So, they're able to really kind of create a bunch of flurry of blows and do a bunch of little hits. You're basically going to take martial arts feat at level 1, and then at some point, as the character develops, you're going to find that rage deep down in your soul, and that's really what's going to unlock the underdog. It's a lot of fun. You can really kind of dish out a lot of punishment and play it different ways. It's been a lot of fun. The third barbarian we have is sort of our divine fury priest, the zealot. Really, it's just smacks and miracles. Divine magic in Barge really doesn't work like arcane magic on purpose. You're not so much casting spells as much as you're hoping your patron deity spirit thing does the thing. Make a cool background. Maybe you're just that holy person who got pushed a little far. add some skill points around, religion, persuasion. Pick a weapon, any weapon really. Really follow the fury in your heart, and it'll tell you what to pick up. I'm just gonna say spears are cool. Spears are really underrepresented. Add a miracle of your choice. There's presently 3 sort of divine domains built into Barge in the playtest document: light, shadow, and nature. Then you're gonna take the rage feat and really just go around smacking things. Smack things, create miracles. The 4th Barbarian we'll talk about is the Blender. It's really straightforward. You're just going to attack with 2 weapons as much as you can, just keep stabbing. You're going to pick the Warrior archetype, throw some skill points around. I'd recommend acrobatics and stealth. You're going to be jumping off walls, attacking things. Get you some daggers, some axes, some swords, whatever you feel like stabbing with. Take the Rage feat at level 1, take the Flurry feat at level 3. That kind of lets you double up all your offhand attacks, and really just keep stabbing. Just keep stabbing. It's going to work out. Finally, we get to the weirdo. Of all the weird stuff that's came from unlocking the Rage, we created the Rage Mage. Now, magic in Barge is a little different, like a lot of things. The Rage Mage really is a paper nuke, and it takes a little explaining. So you'll pick the Arcanist archetype. Arcanist is our arcane spellcaster. Big cool background. We're going to say a mage that got into the wrong spell book. Here's the thing. You can take a spell at any level in Barge. Like, there's nothing stopping a level 1 Arcanist from taking a really, really big spell, except for one small detail. Different spells use different amounts and different types of dice. And very low-level mages and Arcanists are really kind of locked into like single dice spells they can very consistently get off. For example, Firebolt only uses even dice, but you only need 1 of them. So you can pretty reasonably, with the Arcanist stuff, get that off every turn. A Fireball requires 3 even dice. And that's a little more of an ask, especially at level 1. So what the Rage Mage lets you do is at level 1 you take the Blood Magic feat, which basically lets you trade your health for getting a specific die you want. It's a very costly but very consistent way to make sure you can get whatever dice you need. The Rage feat, if you take it at level 3, means you don't lose any of those dice to the health you're sacrificing. It really sort of unlocks the Blood Mage in a way that we really didn't see coming when we went down this road. And really, at level 3, all of a sudden, a fairly low-level Arcanist is pretty consistently able to get off big old booms. Your Fireballs, your Frost Novas, big Lightning Bolts, spells that would usually be really, really difficult to cast at lower levels without a lot of help and a lot of luck. The Rage Mage can kind of consistently get off. The catch is that, you used all your dice to do that. You're not using your dice to defend yourself in any way. You better make sure the homies are there to back you up. That's all I got. I don't want to take forever doing this, but this was a lot of fun. Thank you again to Tales from Elsewhere and Odin's Key Gaming. You can check out Barge for free on the Quickstart document. You can get it at bargegames.com. You can get it on itch.io, DriveThruRPG. I'm there at BlueSky, at Barge Games. Still in the process of making my first real game built on this, but it is coming soon. I'm just gonna shake around all the papers on my desk that it's slowly forming into a full-on game. Again, thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to binging every one of these videos. You guys have a good one.